This episode is brought to you by Smalls Cat Food, my cat's favorite cat food, and frankly mine too, because it's awesome and it's amazing, human grade, non-stinky cat food. So give your cat the gift of great cat food this season. Head to smalls.com/braincandy. Use promo code braincandy at checkout for 50% off your first order plus free shipping. That's the best offer you'll find, but you have to use our code braincandy for 50% off your first order. One last time, that's promo code braincandy for 50% off your first order plus free shipping. Brain Candy, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was very Elvis-y.
Episode 875, Brain Candy Podcast. Here we are, end of 2024.
Let's wrap it up.
Wrapping it up.
Let's close it out. I'm done with this one. This was too much.
This was a doozy. It was a doozy.
I mean, I say every year, like, oh, so many changes, blah, blah, blah. But come on. This was like the most.
It was a lot.
Of all years. We've been through a lot, Suze.
We really have, as individuals and a society.
Oh, I didn't even take society into consideration.
I just wanted to bring some gravity to it. Yeah, I mean, we always do like an end of year wrap up, and we always talk about our intentions for next year.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not even Christmas Eve yet, but this is I think it's our final episode of 2024 because Sarah and I need a freaking break. You people are relentless. You want nonstop content.
Do you blame them? I mean, we bring nonstop chatter, so I'm going to keep going. Forever.
Okay, so in review, your goal or intention of 2024 was
fucking God.
Stretching.
Yeah.
She was stretching.
Check. Did that. I mean, in every single way. And in a very good way. You know, it was difficult and painful sometimes as stretching can be.
It can.
You know? I learned the importance of going slow.
Just saying that was your goal and then remembering to when you said it and like what was the situation at that time for you. Right. It feels like a decade ago.
A decade ago.
You had ovaries. You had a boyfriend. You were straight.
I mean, it's so much has changed.
You stretched all right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Way into another category. Just
what the heck happened to you?
I got to be really careful. I think I can't. I'm nervous about picking a theme for this year.
Yeah.
Or doing something like that.
Even if you said nothing, that's scary. You can't say that.
I can't. There's nothing I could do. So
saming.
I'm just going to be. I'm scared. Everything I think of, I can like put a twist on and think, oh, that's not gonna be good.
Well, you did stretch though physically. Like you were you tried to stretch more.
I did so much of that, and I. Here's what I realized, and what I kind of think about your body as you age. And stick with me. We're going a little ride here.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing that game Tony Hawk on PlayStation, that video game. When you play this game, you try to get these stat points and to build up so you have like speed or ollie and like spin or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then when those stats are high enough, then you're able to do a cool trick or get up to where you need to get or achieve whatever goal you need to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
And I have realized that I'm like realizing that I have been attempting to do the tricks, attempting to...
In life?
in life, whatever
is this
it
a
is.
metaphor?
Totally.
Okay.
It is. That's why I'm like, we're coming with me on this ride.
Yeah.
I like do the tricks expecting to have the same stats that I did when I was 18 or 21 or whatever on the challenge, and I am now realizing that it's important to build those up, to do the things. This is like this is basically a fucking like way I have to sell myself on self-care, because
How do you mean though? Give me an example.
like if I want to be able to snowboard, in order to do that, I could maybe when I was 18 just like get up and go do that, because I was already like I was just like in that good of shape. I hadn't gone through a freaking hysterectomy. I haven't just been
everything
I'm not like an
easily.
aging body that now has to like everything came easy. And so now I'm saying, if I want to do all those cool things, those like tricks in life, whatever those may be for you, they could be like, and it could be anything, whatever. It doesn't have to be physical. This could be like a goal that you set. You have to get those stat points up. You have to do the things
It's incremental
to support your ability to then go out and crush that goal or do whatever it is. And so I keep going out there and like, especially with physical stuff, like trying things and then beating myself up that I can't do it in the same way I used to. And I think anybody as they age, like, experiences this, or anybody who's had an injury or whatever it may be, as you just change as you get older. And so now I'm recognizing it's okay. It's not weakness. It's not like time poorly spent to do things to build up those stat points. This is like going to the gym, going to yoga, getting good night's sleep, taking your meds, taking your vitamins, getting breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All of those just like basic things. And when I do all those things, then I go out there and I crush it, and I could, hit all those tricks and achieve all those goals. But I can't be going out there and doing all those, trying to do all those cool things without,
developing
building up.
it.
Developing it. That's like how I've been thinking about it. So my whole goal, if you want to call it that, or focus of this year is going to be build my stat points.
What a fun goal.
And I hope that I show people who have been with us on this ride that, like, life comes at you. It's like waves, and you just have to, like, learn how to, like, ride the wave,
flow, baby.
and don't let it knock you down. And, it's...
I love the Indigo Girls lyric.
Oh.
It's only life after all. Like, we do have a tendency to get all serious. And you really do have to get some perspective and be like, it is serious, lots of stuff. But it's only life after all. Like, everyone's in the same boat, and there's this vast universe. You're a dot in this just humongous space. Like, don't get too caught up in your own bullshit.
Yeah. Just chill. Relax.
And while you're chilling, try some wild grain bread.
That makes... Hey. I am. And if you're somebody who's like, ladies, I'm gluten-free. Well, don't worry.
I know.
If you're
I'm
somebody
psyched
who's
about
like,
this.
ladies, I'm vegan. Don't worry.
Yeah. Wild grains got you.
Got you covered.
Yeah, because that gluten-free thing is a big deal for a lot of people, and it is such a bummer. They really want the damn bread, and I'm like...
So, do you blame them? I have done that gluten-free thing, and I'm sorry.
It stinks.
Yeah, and you got to have the bread.
That's right, and now they can. Wild Grain has done it again. They launched a gluten-free box, a plant-based box. It's 100% vegan, but I get their regular box, and it is heaven sent. Breads, pastas, desserts, waffles.
Oh, did you see I made some carbonara recently with the pasta?
Yes, I did.
Didn't that look good?
How was it?
Dude, I just made it just for me. I was like, I can make carbonara whenever I want.
That's right. And thanks to Wild Grain, it tastes like you're at a restaurant.
It tastes and looked like I was at a restaurant. Man.
This stuff is, you can bake the bread and stuff from frozen. The pasta, you make it from frozen, but it takes just minutes. And it tastes like proper restaurant bakery stuff.
There is such a difference in pasta. If you've only tried that dried stuff that's not, you haven't even tried pasta yet.
Mm-hmm. Give it a whirl.
Yeah.
Even if it's just one time. Just see what we're talking about.
Yeah. Just check it out.
Are you ready to bring all your favorite carbs right to your doorstep? Be sure to check out Wild Grain so you can begin building your own box of artisanal breads, pastas, and pastries. For a limited time, Wild Grain's offering our listeners $30 off the first box, plus free croissants in every box when you go to wildgrain.com/braincandy to start your subscription. You heard us, free croissants in every box and $30 off your first box when you go to wildgrain.com/braincandy. That's wildgrain.com/braincandy, or you can use promo code braincandy at checkout.
Those croissants are the best that are out there. There are no better.
Everything. The everything sourdough is heavenly.
Yes. Oh, gosh.
Okay.
I'm hungry. Okay, but I've been talking about me this whole entire time, and my goals. What about you?
Okay, so my theme last year, or this 2024, was wonder.
Yes.
And
what a good
my goal. Theme. It was. I was really pleased. I'm glad I chose that. The intention was to really sort of dial into like the wonder and awe that the world brings us, that people can bring us. And then my goal was to write a one-hit wonder and to do a pull-up. And so, yeah, how could you forget?
I know. Thank you for reminding me. Tell me how things. We learned a lot about your pull-ups. But I didn't mean to make it sound
here's
like
the scoop with the pull-up. I mean, technically, I still have time.
Yes, definitely.
I just wrote to my trainer, and because I had started doing the negative pull-ups.
Yes, that's very good.
And I was doing them. They were really hard and everything. And I said to her, I had tried an assisted pull-up at the 15.
Okay.
Which is 15 pounds, like reduction or whatever.
That's very good.
And I was like, I cannot do it. I said I could do it if my life depended on it, like if I were on a cliff.
I love that you're getting so, and the way you said, like, yep, and that cliff was exactly this many feet over.
For real, like where you're like hanging there, and I thought,
and I think with people like us,
gonna die,
that exact feeling because you've been on a cliff, and
I said if I were gonna die, I could do it, but so I knew that I couldn't do a regular pull up. And I did like a frowny face, and she was like, it's hard. And that like, she's like, I've been a trainer since 2010 and I can only do 3 pull-ups.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I was like, that's okay. We'll just keep going. I'm not at the end of the year. Who knows what'll happen in the next couple of weeks. But, what I want to share is that this has been my most successful goal of my life. Because
Suze,
I did not do a pull-up. I failed. And I am stronger than I have ever been.
Yes. That's the point.
I'm not quitting, and I'm going to keep going, and I love it. And like, I work out. Do you know what a miracle this is?
That's amazing. And it shows.
And this is because of Arnold. And that is, and documentaries, because it's the Arnold documentary. So like, see how cool this show is, and how like,
wow, inspired by your own show.
How cool is that?
I love this.
And I am for real the strongest I've been in my whole life. Susan Louise here to interrupt this episode to give you an update, because on December 15th, in the year of our Lord, 2024, I did one singular, probably crappy pull-up. Beep, beep, beep. Okay, actually it was a chin-up. My palms were facing in, which I didn't even learn the difference until about August of this year. But let's not split hairs. The point is, I sort of achieved my goal for the year. But the best part about it is it doesn't matter because of what I already said in this episode, which is that it's not a failure if you're freaking getting better every day and working hard and doing your best. I mean, if Fred Rogers would not be proud of that, I don't know what. And if Arnold wouldn't be proud of that, I don't know what they would be proud of. And so I'm proud of myself. I kept my word. I kept trying every day. And somehow, miraculously, I can't even figure it out. I swear it's because Link came with me to the gym that day, and I didn't want to let him down. And also because it was a Sunday, and there was like almost no people there. And so I wasn't feeling embarrassed or like self-conscious. And so maybe it gave me superpowers. I don't know. Let's not read too much into this. All I know is for one fleeting second, I had strength that I've never had before. And you can too. So there you go. We did it, everybody. It really is a wonderful year. And then for the one-hit wonder, we realized very early on that, because we were trying to decide what we wanted to do, blah, blah, blah. And we realized very early on that what we want to do is either like a podcast or a documentary or something about one-hit wonders.
Oh, cool.
And write the song while we're making it. And so
that's genius.
We're still doing it and like working on it, and like it's so fun to talk about constantly. But this is a long-term goal now.
That's so great.
When I was with Timmy the other night, Tim Beggy from Road Rules, I was telling him about it, and you can always tell when something's a good idea because he's very creative like you. And he almost fell off his chair. He was like, I love this.
Yes, it's such a great idea.
And I was telling him what we want to do with the podcast or whatever we do, and he was real into it. So the goals are ongoing. I didn't complete them on paper, total failure. In reality, the most successful theme ever.
Yes, I think that's really important for people to hear and for people to know. And I know that there were days where, I mean, you were very, very, very consistent, but you did have a day where you skipped. And I watched you manage that day and then get right back to it.
Yeah,
and
I skipped the day after the election.
Right?
As a matter of fact.
Well, yes. When you have to stop and restart, those are the things that truly test to see where you are in that journey and in that like growth process, because a lot of people throw the baby out with the bathwater, or like just like
never again.
Or I've checked this box and then I'm good. I don't have to do anymore. There's like, it's hard to.
And I really just feel so happy that something so like to have that kind of fundamental change this late in life is pretty great. Think about it. I love sitting more than anything. And every single day I do not want to go to that gym, and every single day I go to that gym.
That is so good.
That's something.
It's very motivating. I need to be better at that. Stat
You
points.
do your whatever is important to you, but for me it was like, wow, old dogs can learn new tricks.
Yes. Yes.
So
it's just getting motivated to do it.
I'm sorry, I still have one more thing to say.
Yes.
Which is that my theme for it's funny that the day that I skipped the gym is the day that I decided my theme for next year.
Yes. I vaguely remember you saying it, but remind me.
My theme for 2025 is connection.
Oh, yes.
And I decided that because of all you bozos losing your goddamn mind on the internet about the election, which I understand. It's very stressful. And if your candidate didn't win, you're really sad or whatever. And also, even if your candidate did win, like you saw what we look like. We're very polarized and sad people. Yeah. And I just thought, we have got to connect. Yeah. I mean, we have got to go and talk to each other.
This is going to be a really exciting year for you.
Yeah, here's what I've done so far. I applied to join the Elks Lodge at Banjo Night.
Okay, I was going to say, this is going to be joining some clubs or something like that.
I already did, and it was a hilarious experience just applying.
Don't you have to get sponsored by
Oh,
somebody?
yeah. Regis sponsored me.
Okay.
You remember that guy that came up to us that night at our table, and he was like cute, and he was, older guy.
Yeah.
He's an elk. And
You're just a little doe.
and he had said, like, what are you guys doing here? Like, what's the deal? And I'm like, I love banjo. He sponsored me.
That's great.
And then also, I'm going to have stuff at my house where people can come and meet people who do not agree with them politically and in religion. So it's just about connecting different kinds of people.
You're such a good person.
No, I love a happening. I love like shenanigans. And so I have to channel that to good things.
Yeah. And it's really good because you keep promises that you make to yourself. Like
Thanks,
you
Sarah.
say, I want to do this thing. And then you take action to actually follow through with doing that thing. And so many people are a lot of talk and no action. And what that teaches you is that you can't rely on yourself. But when you actually follow through, and even if it's just little action, like
I
looking
feel
up the
lucky.
number for the Elks Lodge is,
For real,
shows,
that is actually a pain in the ass because they're
for
not
real,
online.
like it doesn't take that because they're not. That's so funny, but that's all you need to just kind of like get the ball rolling.
By the way, if you're in the Pittsburgh area and you want to be a part of my like weird house, people come and just meet and talk and be friends, just hit me up. Anyone can come.
And if you're not in Pittsburgh, then you can join our book club and
That's
our
right.
dog club.
That's
Candy
right.
Club.
Because you can connect online just as well.
Oh my gosh, those people are our good friends now.
Like it's great if you can meet IRL, and I encourage you to do that. But if you have limitations for any reason, or you just want to join their candy club, do it because it's connecting. Yeah. And if maybe you want to improve your finances and your control over your money, try Rocket Money because it's freaking great.
It is so good.
It's the best.
I think it might be my second most used app.
No.
I bet it might be. I bet it's
That's
either
saying
it's
something.
easy in the top 4
Well, so like do you check it like a couple times daily and you're
because I
seeing,
love it.
Yeah.
And every time there's something that because finances are weird. I got business accounts. I've got stuff all over. I've got different credit cards for things. I really want to be on top of organizing things and sorting things out, like like labeling them. This is a business expense. I like doing all of that. So it allows me to categorize everything. I like being really on top of my budget. I like I like gamifying things. I like it feels like I've set myself a budget. I have goals. I love it.
That's right.
Keeps me like
Empowered.
Motivated. Yes.
Yeah. And so if you have that goal, you want to be more in control of your finances. A lot of people feel like that at the end of the year, like, oh God, what have I done? And they want to be more in control. Rocket Money is a personal finance app. It helps you find your subscriptions that you maybe aren't even using. You could cancel, and they'll cancel them for you. It'll monitor your spending. They can negotiate lower prices on things like insurance. It has saved me, I would say, thousands of dollars, and it's a free app. Just download it. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions. Reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/braincandy today. That's rocketmoney.com/braincandy. rocketmoney.com/braincandy.
Yes. Well, this sounds like 2025 is going to be a great year. And the number weirdo in me, my birthday is 2/25/25. And that's like 2 25s. You like it's saying it in my birth, like, right? That feels like 2/25/25. Like,
that's significant.
I feels like it. Best one yet. I just know it.
Yeah, that's a lucky birthday.
Know it. So I feel like I have to do something cool for my birthday.
I love it, and because it is people love milestones, but like you're going to be 39, which feels like a bookender.
Yeah,
it does.
It actually is.
It's like this is your grand finale of the 30s.
I'd rather celebrate this. That I don't like my 40th. I don't need to be like.
Why are we celebrating that?
Right, I'm fine. I'm good.
Let's celebrate the 30s.
I just want to celebrate the cool numbers, you know. I don't want 225, 25. Sounds cool. So we'll see what I'm going to do for this year. And yeah, but it's going to be a good one. I know it. It's because I don't give any fucks. I'm just like doing things for me now.
I would kill for that.
It is the best. Well, you know,
there's still time.
Do is have total hysterectomy, and then. Okay, but we have real things.
Can you have like an elective hysterectomy? Like, can someone be like, "Hey,
the right doctors"?
But I have to pay for it or something.
Yes, you would have to pay for it. It wouldn't meet medical necessity. You would be hard pressed to find one that would remove your ovaries because it's like, why would you do that? Mm-hmm. They would maybe uterus.
All right,
but
fine.
Yeah,
I need like a simulation though
of
whatever you have going on where you give no fucks.
That the doctors did say that this was a lovely side effect. That you'll get to a place where you're just feel very steady and even in life.
Wow. And this is what probably men feel like all the time. That's why they give no fucks.
I think it is. And wait till I go on testosterone. I can't wait for that.
When's that?
I have my appointment on the 24th of December. So whatever.
Well, what's the holdup? I'm mad.
I just have to get an appointment.
No, but like, why didn't they do this already?
Because they had to wait until everything kind of evened out, and to make sure that
I think this is made up. I don't like it.
Because they have to like balance it out and see if this is just. And to be perfectly honest, they also said to separate what was like actual emotional stuff tied to hormonal imbalances and what's me going through a breakup and stuff from.
You're kidding.
Yeah. No,
so you're telling me for most people they wouldn't have to wait so long?
No, I don't know if they would have to. I don't know. I have no idea.
Well,
but I know that was that when I read the notes, in the notes it mentioned something about maybe experiencing emotional distress.
They didn't tell you that though?
No, she told me to. All
right.
Yeah, she was like, let's just feel da da da. And I was like,
you're like too forgiving of them and too like giving them the benefit of the doubt. As Rita Meister says, you got to be smarter than your doctor.
I know.
Because I don't like when they do this to women. Like, oh, she went through a breakup. They would never write that in the notes for a man, ever.
I was just crying a lot in the doctor's office. And so I think that they were like,
it's not women, it's Sarah.
I think that's it. They're like, let's see what are her tears are related to changes in her life and
I don't think it was
stressors.
life. I really don't, because you didn't cry like that about fucking other people.
I know it was definitely it's all hormonal. But now it's like balanced out a little bit. It's not. I don't feel as many of like the dramatic mood swings or anything like that. So now I know.
This is funny, but you had a boyfriend whose name, when like I'm trying to write the word then in my phone.
Yes.
And it like I accidentally will do your boyfriend's name and it'll leave it because for that period of time, that is what I meant.
I have the same problem.
I had to change the shortcut in my general settings so that if I type that man's name, it just puts then.
I don't know what you want me to tell you. I apologize. I'm sorry.
I guess I wanted to know if it happened to you.
Yes.
Okay.
And I had to do this. I had to do the same thing.
Okay.
Change that shortcut.
No, they broke up, Apple.
I did not mean that. Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yep, definitely. I also need them to understand that I do not host the Brian Candy podcast.
I don't have that one.
It always.
We should, though.
I just mix it up, and I'm like, no, not the Brian Candy. The brain candy. Anyways. Okay, what are we talking about today? I do have, this is a good little segue because I have a story or update, if you will, on testosterone. Some more information about testosterone from our old friend Robert Sapolsky who
Oh, okay, great.
I want to call him a friend. But
Yeah, Bob Sapolsky.
he should have autographed the book or whatever he needed to do.
That's right.
For me.
Yeah, he should
And
have.
he gave Susie kind of like
The brush off.
the brush
Big
off.
time.
And I don't like that.
I don't either. I don't get that either. Because, like, the most in demand academic still has time.
Right. And loves to be like, applauded and
Yeah.
lauded.
I don't know what happened there.
I don't either. Maybe I'm thinking he might just be that nerdy.
Yeah,
think?
well, he has no problem going on Good Morning America.
Right. And I
You know what
still,
I mean?
every time I see him talk, I'm like, oh, he's my favorite. He's
Yeah, we can't
still
quit
like
you,
him.
Bob.
Yeah, I can't quit you. He's kind of like, he does the same thing that, what the hell? My menopausal brain.
What?
Jeff Goldblum. He kind of
Oh,
gives me
yeah.
the same like Jeff Goldblum vibes. I don't know why. Whatever that energy is, he's got that.
It's a good energy.
It is. Okay, so he's teaching us a little bit about testosterone.
I mean, they're both Jews.
That's probably it.
It's Jew energy, which you all know that's my favorite energy.
Yes, and I am happy to know about, just to share this with you. This is just like our personal conversation that now everybody on the podcast has to hear. So many Jewish lesbians on the apps.
Ugh.
I'm so excited.
I mean, I
Best of
think
both worlds.
no, for real, I think that is going to be a real heyday.
Hello?
Yeah, it's like the mother lode. Because it's everything that you could ever want.
I know.
Funny, smart, self-deprecating.
Chosen.
Good one.
I knew you'd like that.
Yeah, I mean, if only I were a lesbian.
I know. I tell you, though, you're not my type. But even though I do
hate
like boobs.
that. I hate
know.
that.
It's just, we're just
That's
friends.
always hurt. That's all. We're just
We're just friends, sis. You're too close. It's like that. I need there to be
We're
a little mystery.
sisters. I
We're
know, it's
sisters.
okay.
It's like that.
It's fine.
Totally. And every time we go anywhere, people are like, "Are you guys sisters?"
It is weird. That happens
is
to us a
wild.
lot. Because I don't think we look like sisters
I don't either.
at all.
But every single time we go someplace, a restaurant, a nail salon, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Okay. None of this is
Yeah.
about testosterone. Let's
All
get
right,
back to
sorry.
testosterone. So, Robert Sapolsky is teaching us a little bit about testosterone. He says that we have this misunderstanding. We think that testosterone creates aggression. That's kind
Yeah.
of always been the thing, right?
Yeah,
Incorrect.
I know.
Testosterone does not create aggression. Instead, it amplifies traits that you already have. So in a way, it's just a social magnifier. That aggression will only come out if there is a social norm to
Oh,
be
God.
aggressive.
Are you
Right?
telling me
Yeah.
his argument isn't that it like it increases aggression only if it's socially acceptable? How
Yes.
does he
And
know
if-
that?
And so they did these tests on monkeys where they ranked them in order of hierarchy and then adjusted like the testosterone that they received to control the hierarchy basically.
Wow.
And
So that
they
it
found-
equalized them.
so they were able to put them in order, like to decide
Oh.
A, B, C, D, E. They had like A, B, C, D, E.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. And they found, so they put them in order, and what they found is when you give testosterone to the middle ranking one, to C, if testosterone increased aggression, that C would then start fighting with A and B. But they do not start fighting with A and B. They start fighting with E and F,
Okay.
the lower ones, because it had something to do with the amplification of behaviors that help to maintain social status. So that was basically his conclusion was in kind and collaborative people, testosterone will boost generosity and cooperation. And in those who are prone to aggression, it intensifies dominance and hostility.
Wow.
So it's whatever...
That's mind-blowing.
And it's whatever the environment really dictates.
So you know how there's that stereotype or perception of like roid rage?
Yeah.
Right? And I think that is related in some way to testosterone, because I think that's in steroids.
Yeah, like an anabolic steroid, I think I
forget what I read, but it was saying what you're saying, that there is no evidence that increased testosterone creates aggression.
Right.
So you wonder, like, where does this stereotype then come from? But if all of those men are gym rats and stuff, or challenge cast members, right, who are have been socially conditioned to think that that's the currency, is like greater.
The real culprit is not testosterone, but societal values that we choose to reward. If we prioritize kindness, then testosterone can work in our favor. But if we glorify aggression, then it will reinforce those traits again.
That's wild. But you know what? It makes sense, because there's at least one woman and couple maybe on the challenge who I think probably dabble in some performance enhancing drugs, and they are not aggressive.
Yeah.
They seem lovely, like in regular life, but they appear like people who probably do something.
Yeah.
And so that stands to
women,
reason.
I think there are a lot.
Even like China, the wrestler. I don't know what was cooking there, but there was probably heightened levels of testosterone for one reason or another.
Right.
Naturally or otherwise.
A lot of those.
And she was sweet as pie.
Bodybuilding female community is...
I've never seen like an aggressive... Well, and they're rarely aggressive.
Right. Yeah, right. The testosterone instead is going to reflect social context.
Well, so did he provide anything we can do about this? We can't. How are we going to change society?
In a way, yes. He said it's a call to amplify the good. Because if we foster environments that reward generosity and collaboration, then we can guide the influence of testosterone towards positive outcomes.
Okay, this is just like a weird thought, but because I was thinking like where's an environment that does that? I would argue church does that.
Yes, yes, I would argue that as well.
And I don't see a lot of aggression there, but I do see congregations that are gun loving. Yeah, and I wonder how that jives, like how these sort of peaceful communities that do like some elements of sensitivity in all people.
You know, firefighters.
Okay, good one.
I would imagine that their testosterone is higher than because of the sleep situation, and because those weird sleep schedule things, those mess with your testosterone levels. And I know my brother's is like crazy high.
Why do they insist on those schedules, by the way?
Oh, they're trying to change it.
It's the dumbest thing ever,
it really
and there's no
is
evidence.
The dumbest thing ever. They are trying to change it.
Well, they should, because it's not functional.
I vote for that. I think nurses, doctors, firefighters, that kind of those shifts.
Because with like doctors and nurses, I've read that it's like just sort of like, well, we did it, so now you have to.
Yeah, I hate that shit.
Like there's no evidence that it's beneficial. In fact, it's negative performance.
Right.
When you're on hour 23.
Fucking groups. The doctors.
I know, right.
Like,
this is a
your
great
whole
idea.
Fucking thing? Like
sleep deprivation.
Like results. What? Come on. Right. You guys are always preaching. Are you getting good sleep?
Yeah.
It's like where they start.
Yes, Sarah.
Yeah.
I'm mad about it.
So that's what you can tell people. Anytime somebody says,
is this like some sort of academic
Yeah, it was
he
in
published?
Discovery. It was in Discover magazine, and this was at a lecture he gave at Stanford a little bit ago.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to find that's the case.
Yeah.
But okay, Sarah, I don't mean to like beat a dead horse, but like
I beat him up.
Everyone has this perception that men are more aggressive.
Right.
And you could argue that that's just societal stuff. But where did it begin then?
With I think this is what you will always see when you have limited resources. That's kind of like saying, where did it begin? We see this in the animal kingdom. I think that's why you can look at chimps and monkeys and their behavior. I think anything that has like...
Yeah, like once they hit puberty, what we saw in Chimp Crazy is like, you don't want to be like hanging out in the cage with a male chimp. So if it's not testosterone, then what is it?
Is it a biological urge to procreate? Is that...
But that only happens after puberty. So what else increases besides testosterone? Robert?
I see what you mean. Because and then that brings about the aggression, because really you're being aggressive towards that thing that...
Well, because like we saw,
that's a really good question. And Robert. So here, Bob, back on our list.
Because like, when you have the little baby chimps and you put the clothes on them, they ride the bicycles. It's so cute.
And something happens in the same way something happens. And any 5th/6th grade teacher will also tell you something happens. Oh, yeah,
something happens. Oh, and we're just supposed to believe chimps have societal norms too? Well, if so, then why? What is causing that? If it is not testosterone.
It's an urge to procreate that will lead to aggression, I think, because that is... Yeah, I think that takes over. Yeah, he needs to talk more on that.
Yeah, because are there other things that increase? Right. He's like a world-renowned psychologist. We're like, this isn't adding up. And literally every woman in the world would be like, this doesn't add up.
I mean, it does if you look at women going on testosterone and or certain people becoming aggressive.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's what I want to know. Like, what other chemicals is causing it, or brain scenarios? Because we are not all delusional. Nobody's attacking us until after these boys hit puberty.
I think maybe there aren't strict enough. Oh gosh, that sounds weird to say. Strict enough rules and expectations on bodily autonomy.
In the whale community too, though.
No.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, like them, I can understand their driving urges. I have to procreate. I have to carry on the species.
Why do you have to kill the babies?
We can add another layer of maybe some things are more important, like honoring human life. Mm-hmm. And so we live by a different. So those moral codes have to be more important than that biological drive to fucking get your dick wet.
It's disgusting. I wish I were a lesbian, Sarah.
I love
Kelly
when you say that.
It's so funny that I'm like...
It is. I love it too. It's so funny. It really is.
It is because we get disgusting that I am attracted to these animals.
Right. I love when you say, this is proof it's not a choice.
That's right. I mean, if I could pray it away, believe me, I would have already done it.
That is so funny.
That's why I believe everyone. And the weirdest ones for me are gay men, because they know what they are like. Right? They know how disgusting they are, and they still like themselves. Explain that.
I think it's still that drive to get your dick wet.
But they are also the funniest. So I'm like, it's fine.
And they're the best. And they're more involved. And it's fine.
Anywho, yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to actually look into that more because Robert, I don't know. He's
Yeah, listen to what he says when he does. I'll post it. Well, listen to what he says when he talks about what happens when you give the chimps testosterone, the middle one, like who they fight with.
It just feels like gaslighting where he's like, all of your personal lived experience and what we all see with our eyes, 6th grade teachers and blah, 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 like, and parents and women is like, just ignore all that. Look at this study.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
I want to see the environments where good was amplified and how increasing testosterone, did they see more? I think it's just a hypothesis that kind, collaborative people, I don't think that there's
He's getting fast and loose with the data.
You're right. A couple good books with some catchy titles.
Next thing you know, you're
books.
denying autographs.
Right. God, this has become a Robert Sapolsky
trashing.
Yeah, trolling episode.
Don't fuck with us, Bob.
Yeah, that is true. Don't fuck with us. Okay, this is related because we talked about whales, so I have to tell you this one too. Okay. This guy, I can't even believe this fucking story. So this guy, what's his name? Michael Packard. This happened in 2021. He's a lobster diver from Cape Cod. He was diving. I don't think he was in Cape Cod when it happened. I actually think he was in Australia. He was in another place. I don't think he was in Cape Cod. Maybe. I don't know. I actually don't know where he was from. Or where this happened. But he was diving along and all of a sudden gets bumped like he was hit. He describes it as like being hit by a car. Next thing you know, he's swallowed by a humpback
Stop
whale.
it, Jonah.
Yes. He was trapped in the darkness for 30 to 40 seconds before the whale surfaced and then ejected him.
Can you imagine?
Susie, you're going to love this because it gets better. That's not even the wildest story of this guy's life.
I'm so excited.
They have now made his life and his story into a documentary that came out. I think it came out last year, which how did we never hear about this? How do we not know about this? It's called In the Whale, the greatest fish story ever told.
I'm dying.
Right? So let me tell you a little bit more about Mr. Packard and some of his life of close calls.
His life of close calls?
Yes. Which also, let me tell you, if you saw the video of this guy, this is the most unassuming guy you've ever seen. He looks like he should be mowing the lawn in front of the house in any neighborhood in Pittsburgh.
Stop. He's a dad or something?
Dad. I'm going to pull up his picture so you can see what this guy... I don't know if I want to tell you the stories first or show you his picture
His
first.
profession is lobster diver, but for fun, he gets swallowed by whales.
Yeah, okay. This is what he looks like.
Oh, no.
He's just a dad. He's just a guy.
He's got uncle vibes for sure.
Uncle vibes, like total uncle vibes. So, in 2001...
Like he loves football, Monday Night Football.
Right. He loves Monday Night Football.
He has like a barbecue apron.
Yeah. Yes. That says grills, grills, grills.
Totally.
See, now you're writing fan fiction. You're
okay, go ahead.
This is great. I love this.
Grills,
okay.
Grills.
In 2001, he was flung from a plane that crashed in a remote Costa Rican jungle, killing 3 others. He suffered severe injuries, including facial trauma, multiple broken bones, and barely survived after waiting hours for rescuers. That's 2021.
Unbelievable.
Already unbelievable.
Yeah.
In his teen years, at 15 years old, He was nearly swept out to sea when his fishing boat became stranded. He swam after it, battling poor visibility and uncertainty, and was eventually rescued. So had a near-ocean drowning at 15.
Wow.
In 2017, he discovered the body of a fellow diver who had been lost at sea 6 years earlier on a dive trip.
Oh my God. Do you think it's the case that he just has really like high risk hobbies? I mean, to a certain extent, diving is.
But diving and a plane crash, those are often, that's different. Those.
What kind of plane are we thinking?
I mean, I'm imagining it's a smaller one.
Puddle jumpers.
You know, if 3 people died and then he was barely rescued. I don't think there were a bunch of people that were rescued.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of skepticism about the whale encounter because this guy had so many tails.
Like, not this guy again.
Right? And luckily there were witnesses and the locals vouched for him and they said that he's an experienced angler and diver and is
Did
not
he say what it was like in there?
Yeah, he said that it was really dark and that and when you hear him, he's like, yeah, I was like, what's that? And then I thought, how am I getting out? He really is like, that is a dead-on impression.
Oh, my God. Well, I wonder what it felt like in there.
The good news is for everybody who's like, oh, my God, this is why I'm terrified to go in the ocean.
Oh, well.
A whale is physically incapable of swallowing a human. The whale spat him out because they can't.
Wait, why?
I don't know.
Wonder why.
Don't.
They have a little esophagus?
Well, I think certain whales only eat krill and brine and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then I think the larger ones.
What kind of whale was it?
The humpback whale. And I think that's the one that is, which is so wild that something that big eats things that are so small.
I only learned that recently.
Ever understand that. They have to eat so much.
And their face, like the teeth, it's just like, it's like a broom bristles.
Yeah.
Like it's just sort of like the krill or whatever you're saying go in there, the seaweed eaters. What the fuck?
Right.
I don't know.
It's like they're basically having like dinner mints, just like.
Yeah, there's no teeth going on. It's just like these tiny little broom bristles. They're sucking all this shit from the ocean.
I want Susie Explains Animal Facts in the same way they do Drunk History. I want you to have half a bottle of wine and then tell me all the facts about animals that you've heard from me over the years. That would be such a treat.
Do you see my desk moving right now, by the way?
Oh, I was wondering what was happening there.
I do not know what is happening. I think I hit something.
Elevator
because
going
I'm
down.
So worked up about
first floor, menswear.
Oh no!
Oh no! Ah! What is happening? Our pets' heads are falling off.
I am dying. Oh my God.
This is fun. This is like going on one of those motion rides at
I don't know how to get it to stop. Hold on a minute. Sarah.
This is going on the blooper reel. This is great.
Wait, is this where it is normally?
I don't know.
It feels high. Hold on. No, that's not the only thing that feels high. Hold on. Okay, wait. Okay, I'm going to leave there. Okay. No, but for real, Sarah.
That would be so funny to me. Susie Explains Animal Facts.
Yeah, like Drunk History. But
yes.
Because
so
Lincoln got into sharks and stuff.
Yes.
You know, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago.
I remember this. You know,
and so
a lot
we got
about
all those books. And when I found out that those gigantic, the biggest mammals
right.
don't even eat meat. Or like if they do, it's like the teeny tiny
It's
stuff.
what we have as
Sardines.
appetizers.
Yeah.
And I'm this big, and they're that big, the size of a school bus. It doesn't.
Because they swim along, and it goes
and pounds and pounds and pounds.
Now it's funny when I do it, but they swim along, and it goes into those broom bristles.
Yes, and they're just like,
Who thought of that?
I don't know. It blows my mind.
Are humpbacks among them?
I think so.
I think so too. So you're telling me he went in there, this guy's mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Why would that fish do that? Or whatever it is.
Oh, it's got to be. I mean, it was
an accident?
Oh, yeah. It's got to be an accident. That's definitely like, I think that it's the same. I would imagine if you're that big and you're just opening your mouth to swallow up whatever, I mean, thousands of gallons of water. You know, when you put a bowl into a, like, I don't know, you put like a cup or something into a bathtub or into a body of water, it makes all the sides just go whoosh, and it sucks in. It creates this vortex. I don't know what the fuck that thing is called, like a pulling thing.
Yeah, it's suction. Right, I get it.
And I think it just sucked him right in there.
I think he should stay out of the sea and the air.
Yeah, and or he's one of those guys. Don't you feel like we hear these stories of like that? There was like a woman who survived a plane crash and then something else wild happened to her. And I feel like you talked about this. Does that ring a bell?
I remember the lady that survived a plane crash and like was in her seat and got ejected. Yeah, and
there
like landed on the floor of the jungle.
And we were like, this is like the exception that proves the rule.
Yeah.
You can only have one crazy thing happen to you in your life.
Well, and then I saw the Ric Flair documentary. He was struck by lightning. Plane crash. Lots of stuff like that.
So maybe some people are just
prone to it. Yeah. And I wonder, though, if it's like these personalities that are into more high-risk stuff.
This guy didn't strike me as that.
Yeah, he certainly doesn't with that apron. Girls.
You. Watch the video of this guy. He is just regular.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good story, though, Sarah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about the malfunction of the desk.
That was hilarious.
I can't wait to watch the video back of like what went wrong, because there are these buttons on my desk that move it up and down. So it could be a standing desk.
Yeah.
And when I lost my mind laughing at what you said, I guess I hit a button and all hell broke loose. Well, thanks for tolerating it.
A lot of whale content.
What a big way to end the year. Right. A lot of whale content.
Yeah. Ending the year with a splash.
With a splash, so to speak. Thank you all for another year.
Right.
Of the funniest job anyone could ever want.
The best job. An award-winning year.
Wait, look!
I was wondering, did we get our award?
I'm sending you yours. Yes.
Oh my God, I had to move
Arnold's head because we had too many awards.
Oh my God. Mm-hmm. I am so excited.
Thank you for
winners.
Making us award winners.
Yes.
And for using our codes, which keeps the lights on, because Lord knows we need the help. It's a jungle out here in the podcasting world. We're competing with friggin', I mean,
what's his name?
Notaro, Sean Hayes.
Basically everybody
Joe
you've ever
Rogues.
known.
Yeah, all these famous people. What are we supposed to do?
Probably Robert Sapolsky. I'm sure he's got one. Ours better.
That's really funny. I don't think he does, and it's only a matter of time. Yeah. But we love you, and we couldn't do it without you. So thank you.
Yes, you're
happy Christmas, happy holidays, happy New Year, all the happies.
We'll see you in 2025. Woo!
We'll be back. Bye.